Are you experiencing sleepless nights and feel like a zombie the whole day because your baby is fully awake during nighttime and cranky during daytime? In most cases, your newborn is awake at night during short phases of those early months of life. It may seem like an eternity when you're exhausted, but it often lasts for a few weeks once you train them to sleep during the nighttime. In today's video, we will talk about the baby sleep training methods that you can use to solve your and your baby's sleep-deprived problems, if it is safe, and some steps on how to do it. Top 5 sleep training techniques for babies. But before we get started, please click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to get real-time updates about new baby videos coming your way. Do give this video a thumbs up, share this with a friend or others who need to hear this, and leave a comment to let us know what you think. The material in this video is provided solely for educational reasons and is not intended to be taken as medical advice. Check and console technique. This method encourages parents to check on their babies and console them before they even start to cry. To do the check and console technique, you should keep checking on your baby at regular intervals but never feed or rock her to sleep, as this will indicate that your child is not falling asleep on her own. Put your child in their crib, leave the room and wait a certain period once you've completed your bedtime routine. Let's say a minute or two. Then go into your baby's room and reassure her with words like "Mommy loves you" or a gentle touch like a rub or a pat. It's best not to pick up the baby. Only use this procedure with babies that are at least 7 months old. Younger babies, especially if they've worked themselves up into a frenzy, require parental presence to ensure they aren't abandoned. Extinction or cry-it-out techniques. The objective behind extinction is to end a crying behavior by refusing to respond to it. This method involves letting a baby cry as they learn to fall asleep on their own. Here's a guide to do the cry-it-out technique. Go to your bedtime ritual. Place them in their crib awake. Say goodnight and walk away. Just as you did with the check and console technique. Leaving your baby till the morning unless you know they need to feed in the middle of the night. The first night can be difficult. They can be up and crying every hour. Parents are often hesitant to go this route, worried about how much crying will be involved. But a lot of parents are often surprised by how quickly it works. Yes, there is a lot of crying, but it's short-term. You might get a lot of crying for 2 to 3 nights, but then every night it gets lesser. According to the expert, you should see a significant improvement with this method by the 3rd or 4th night, but it's important to try it for a week before determining if it is working or not. Some experts state that you can start CIO as early as 3 to 4 months old, sometimes younger. But it may be more developmentally appropriate to wait until your baby is over 4 months old. Chair method. The chair method of sleep training is a no-tears technique that teaches your baby to fall asleep without being picked up when she cries. It is a gentle, gradual process that requires time, consistency, and patience. Just like other methods, you prepare your baby for bed, but instead of leaving the room, you sit in a chair next to their crib. When they fall asleep, leave the room, but every time they wake up, sit back down in the chair until they fall back asleep. Every few nights, move the chair further and further away until you're out of the room. The pro of this method is that mom or dad is present, but the con is there will likely still be some crying. It can be hard to be consistent with this method. Most babies are ready to start the chair method between 4 and 6 months, as this is the age when babies are capable of learning to self-soothe, an important skill for them to master. And if you want to improve your baby's daytime sleep game, you can use the chair method of sleep training for naps too. Pick up, put down, and shush pat technique. The pick up, put down sleep training method is literally just that. The idea, which comes from Tracy Hogg's book Secrets of the Baby Whisperer, involves putting your baby in her crib, and if she fuzzes, go to her room to hold her for a bit, then put her back in the crib when she's calm. For doing this method, you have to keep up the same regular tuck-in schedule you've established with your baby, which may include a final feeding, a bath, books, and a lullaby. After one last cuddle, put your sweetie down while she's drowsy but still awake so she'll learn to fall asleep on her own in the crib. If she's quiet, leave the room. But if she starts to fuzz, wait a bit before you go back in. She might cry but then stop on her own after a short while. Once she's calm again, put her down and exit the room. Repeat these steps until she falls asleep. According to specialists, this strategy is best for babies under the age of 7 months, in which you stay in the room without assisting them in falling asleep. Bedtime hour fading technique. Bedtime fading sleep training is a method that gradually reduces the amount of time you're in your baby's room when she's heading to bed. Start using this method by listing down your baby's sleep times so you can track when she usually naps and settles at night. Use the time your baby naturally falls asleep at night as her temporary bedtime, even if it's a late hour like 10 p.m. Be familiar with the signals fuzzing, eye rubbing, ear pulling, turning her head, and yawning are all signs your baby is tired and needs to head to bed. Once you know her sleep signals and her current bedtime, begin the tuck-in process ahead of time, including a bath, book, and one more feeding and a little song. If she cries, wait a bit before going to her, as she may pipe down on her own. But if she doesn't, pick her up for an interval of 20 or 30 minutes and try again. Every couple of nights, move her bedtime 15 minutes earlier or later, depending on your goal for the ideal new bedtime, and follow the tuck-in process, keeping it low-key and calm. Keep shifting her bedtime by 15 minutes every couple of nights until you've settled on a new time that suits both your schedule and your baby's sleep needs. A bedtime of between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. generally works best for babies. Like the chair method, most babies are ready to start this technique between 4 and 6 months, as this is the age when babies are capable of learning to self-soothe. This is an excellent approach to minimize the crying, but many parents find it difficult to maintain. It's worth a shot if you're prepared to adhere to the plan and bring your baby to the point where he or she can go to bed without your help. Give the bedtime fading sleep training strategy a try, and your baby may become the solid sleeper as you want her to be. Regardless of the variety of baby sleep training methods used, the end aim is the same for all. A baby who can sleep for several hours at a time without the need for parental intervention. But wait, is sleep training safe for your baby? Some parents are afraid to utilize these sleep training methods because they've heard or are concerned that it would harm their relationship with their child in the future, or that it may create emotional scars. Medical studies looked into the effects of sleep training on babies' mental health and development and revealed no negative consequences. Research has also been done on this topic and has shown that parents have great relationship with their kids when they are 6 years old if they were sleep trained. And babies who learn to sleep at night are less likely to be fuzzy during daytime. Before using these techniques, you may want to speak with your child's pediatrician to get clarification on how much your baby should be sleeping at night and the appropriate nighttime feeds for their age, and any other concerns you might have. There are a few circumstances when a pediatrician may recommend against it, like when a baby is too young to be sleep trained because they still need extra nighttime feedings, or if there are medical conditions that exist that necessitate checking on the child frequently. But generally speaking, if a baby can get deep sleep and fall asleep on their own, it doesn't just improve a child's mood and dispositions. It also improves the quality of life for sleep-deprived parents. Thanks for watching the top 5 sleep training techniques for babies. Please like and share this video if you learned something new today. See you in our next video.